Good Monday afternoon, everyone. News from the Hill. Tennessee said on Friday night when they announced that Tony Vitello would not be in the dugout for 3 games, that they would have a further update on that situation on Monday. We've been anxiously awaiting that update. And today, Eric Kane, we're getting that update, not just on Tony Vitello, but also on the shortstop, Maui Alua, that we've been waiting on for a while. What's the latest?
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good day for Tennessee. You were hoping to get some type of good news, and I think that's why the Tony news kind of waited towards later in the day. You were hoping to get that news from Maui Ahuna, and you got it. The former Kansas Jayhawk transfer shortstop gained his eligibility clearance from the NCAA on Monday, and that was really good news. You thought that was going to come on Friday. Not going to lie, thought that news would make it out there on Friday. It did not. Once it didn't on Friday, you knew that he would not play on the Saturday and Sunday games as well. But that news was made apparent on Monday. And then with that in hand, Tennessee went out and said, all right, Tony Vitello, we're going to go ahead and allow you to coach again. So Tony Vitello comes back. He will be in the dugouts when Tennessee takes on Charleston Southern. Maui Ahuna will be playing shortstop when Tennessee takes on Charleston Southern. And for the first time this season, it looks like Tennessee is going to be at full strength, and it's going to be good. It's going to be good just to try to put this behind them, though I wouldn't say everything is completely done, but it's a step in the right direction, and everybody's in the dugout and on the field.
Yeah, this is a bit of an interesting story from the standpoint of there's just a lot of unknown as to what everything kind of centers around. We know it. We know the people that it centers around, but all the details of what that entails and why there was an eligibility issue for Maui, and then why Tennessee decided to take Tony Vitello off the bench for 3 games. Um, is a bit of an unknown here. Clearly, there was some type of wrongdoing, however minor it might be. And as we talked about on the Rocky Top Rewind, Eric, you never know what those will turn into.
Mm-hmm.
But it certainly feels like Tennessee is comfortable with where this is at. And this is where they felt like they were going to land with this, in terms of getting them both back sooner rather than later, right?
Yeah, exactly, and that's why these conversations have been going on for quite some time. We've mentioned that a couple of times on the board. We talked about on the rewind. I mean, this wasn't brand new. Tennessee thought that it was going to be taken care of and resolved, and Vitello would be okay, and of course Ahuna would be out there and eligible and ready to go. Turns out Maui was not eligible to get going for the season opener, missed the first 8 games. And then, of course, maybe to kind of urge that along a little bit, and because of the ongoing conversations, Tony Vitello needed to sit 3 games. But I don't think Tennessee would make this decision to put Tony back in the dugout if it didn't feel comfortable where it is right now. Having said all that, NCAA is still going to be asking questions. You remember, this was a Tennessee Tony Vitello suspension. This was not an NCAA suspension to Tony Vitello. That's really important to remember here. So, is everything out of the woods right now? I'm not comfortable in saying that because, again, as we've mentioned, you're asking, you're poking around and everything, but right now Tennessee would not be comfortable putting Tony Vitello back in the dugouts. If they weren't comfortable doing that, then they wouldn't, but they have here on a Monday afternoon, and I think that's a really, really good thing. Now, I think, credit Josh Elander, credit the guys in that dugout. I mean, everybody's hyped up and ready to go and play the opening weekend. You're just out there trying to play ball, but there was a lot of distractions this past weekend, an awful lot of distractions. And I know Dayton is not a big time opponent or anything, but Tennessee just kind of kept its head down and wouldn't play baseball. And I think they deserve some credit for that.
Yeah, no doubt. A couple of points of clarification or distinction here for everybody to understand. Just want to reiterate it. Maui's situation is resolved. That was an NCAA matter when there was a question in regard to his eligibility. Tennessee's not going to play an ineligible player. He has been cleared to play. That is coming not from just the university. That's coming from the NCAA. The Tony Vitello suspension was a university decision. They have placed him back on the bench. And could there possibly be something else with the NCAA? That would be up for further discussion if anything else develops from that. That's the point of distinction that fans should understand between the two. Eric, on the field, what does it mean to get Maui back for this lineup, for this team, and get going and kind of set sail moving forward?
Well, it's big, Brent. And again, the stretch of games you're in right now, it's not like you need Maui to win, but boy, you could have used him in Arizona, right? He has got a Major League Baseball glove. He is a guy that can hit leadoff. He is a guy that can hit third in your order. And wherever Tony decides to put Maui, it's just going to make that lineup that much deeper because say he hits leadoff, Jared Dickey can slide back and maybe hit fifth or sixth now, and that means you're moving Griffin Merritt back, you're moving Zane Denton back. It just makes your lineup that much deeper. So top of the order, he's an aggressive hitter. He's a great hitter from the left side, and he walks a lot as well. Defensively, in with the glove, a really, really good defender. Arguably, coming into the SEC is potentially the best defender in the SEC, the best infielder with that glove. So it's a big get for Tennessee. And credit Austin Jaslove, a Knoxville native, local kid. He came in, he played really, really good defense. He's driven in 6 runs in the first week and a half, and I would not have envisioned that whenever Austin Jaslove started the first 8 games. He did a really good job. He's been a good teammate, and Maui's been a great supporter of him as well. But now it's Maui time. He's going to take over that shortstop position, and you can finally see maybe some, Tennessee continuing to try to figure itself out and fill each other out and everything. And now that finally can take shape with Maui in there because you are a complete team, and it hadn't been like that the first 8 games of the season.
Yeah, so on this Monday of news for Tennessee, lots of it. We have plenty of it at Volquest.com. Football, recruiting, basketball, as well as Tennessee gets ready to take on Arkansas on Tuesday night. Tennessee baseball on the diamond tomorrow afternoon. They will have their prize shortstop on the field, and they will have their skipper in the dugout. Tony Vitello back to work on the bench on Tuesday afternoon. And Tennessee has hopefully got all of this stuff behind them. And now it's all about between the white lines on the diamond. He is Eric Kane. I'm Brent Hubbs, Volquest.com.